Alright here, today I'm going to talk about the silly season news surrounding former NASCAR Cup Series driver Kyle Larson. Now, he could possibly return back to NASCAR for the 2021 season and beyond. But before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Barry Griggs for all he has done in the last couple of months. Started off a hookup with hot passes for Atlanta and a lot of cool gear, the giveaway. I just can't thank him enough. It means a lot. So, yeah, thank you, and let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
All right, here on Easter Sunday, Kyle Larson was participating in a iRacing event, which was being hosted by an Xfinity Series driver and some Truck Series drivers. So you had a lot of big names in it, but Kyle Larson was racing in it, and they had a chat where they can talk. Each driver can talk to one another. And Kyle Larson all of a sudden thought he was disconnected from the chat, and he said a word that no one should ever say, regardless of who you are. It's just a wrong word. I mean, it's completely wrong. And it was trending on social media that night, and the next morning, NASCAR and Chip Ganassi Racing had to come up and do something about this moving forward. So Chip Ganassi automatically suspended Kyle Larson's pay till further notice, and then next thing you know, NASCAR suspends Kyle Larson indefinitely. That does not mean he can never race again. He just has to go to a sensitivity course, which I think he completed, but NASCAR has yet to reinstate him and let him compete. Then later on, Credit One Bank, Chevy, the manufacturer, McDonald's, Clover, they all backed up. Lucas Oil backed up from sponsoring Kyle Larson. They told Chip Ganassi, you can keep us or you can keep Kyle, and Chip Ganassi ultimately decided to keep the sponsors and Kyle, because later on, after that, the next morning, Kyle Larson was fired from Chip Ganassi Racing, and they had to look for a replacement. A replacement didn't come for about a month after this took place, and it was former champion Matt Kenseth. And Matt Kenseth this year has been pretty relevant, safe to say. But later in the summer, or early in the summer months, I guess you can say, June, Tony Stewart told Robin Miller, IndyCar Insider, and Adam Stern put this out on Twitter, that he told him he reportedly wants to hire Kyle Larson, and Kyle Larson, he can possibly go in here, but which ride would he go into? The 10, the 14? The 4 and 41 are pretty much locked for the next 2 years. Erik Amarola is really consistent this year. I think they're going to keep him if the sponsors does not come back, which I highly believe they will. So Amarola is a lot for next year. But what's going to happen to the 14 car? Clint Bowyer has been with Stewart Haas Racing since the 2017 season. And since then, he has 2 wins, one at the Martinsville Spring Race back in 2018, even won the Summer Michigan race, the first race, is rain shortened. He has a total of 24 top 5s, a total of 52 top 10s, and a total of 789 laps led, which is not too bad or not too good if you compare it to Kevin Harvick, his teammate. And then average start, 13.2. Average finish of 14.9, which is inside 16, so that means he's more than likely make the playoffs. But he did not, making it in 2017. And he has a total of 18 DNFs, which is kind of average. But I think Kyle Larson replaces Clint Bowyer in 2021. I honestly think that's in the discussions probably. Bowyer hasn't been having the best of luck this year, and if you can compare him to Harvick and Amarola and Custer, two of them have wins, and Amarola's up front leading lots of laps. So I think they're going to get rid of Clint Bowyer and put in Kyle Larson. Clint Bowyer is my favorite driver. How hard it is to say, I think his performance this year hasn't been good enough to keep that ride. So Kyle Larson's going to get into that 14 car. But what's going to happen to Chase Briscoe? Chase Briscoe, I think, is going to stay in the Xfinity Series for another year. And there's a reasoning behind this. Because in 2022, NASCAR is going to come out with a next gen car, which is like technically the Gen 7 car. And why would you put a young driver such as Chase Briscoe into a Cup car to learn that car for 1 year and go to a whole complete another deal, like a new aero package and stuff like that? It would just make sense for them to hold on to Chase Briscoe for another year in the Xfinity Series and see what he can do there, and then move him up and have a even opportunity, I guess you can say, to possibly compete for wins. Because the next gen car is a big unknown. No one knows who's going to be good and who's going to be bad. So it would make sense for them to put Kyle Larson in the 14 car for next year and let Clint Bowyer do whatever he wants to do. I'm sure he's going to race next year, so you might have a couple of rides open up, such as Chip Ganassi Racing, Roush Fenway, Go Fast Racing, Richard Petty Motorsports, which I heard recently at Bubba World 42. Just a lot of things going on. But this is a hint. I'm going to do a silly season 2021 NASCAR lineup prediction, and that video is going to come out tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Everyone stay tuned. Please like and subscribe.